Did you know pencils can write in space? It's true! Everyday objects all around you are hiding some seriously amazing secrets you never would have imagined. Get ready, because today we're rediving into 10 mind-blowing facts that will make you see your daily life in a whole new light. First up, let's talk about the humble pencil. Long before fancy space pens were a thing, astronauts relied on good old-fashioned graphite pencils. Why? Because they work perfectly in zero gravity. While ink pens need gravity to pull the ink down to the tip, a pencil doesn't care. It just leaves a trail of graphite wherever it goes. So, the next time you're dueling, remember your pencil is literally space-age technology that has traveled beyond our atmosphere. It's a simple, reliable tool that even our space explorers trusted on their incredible journeys. How cool is that for something you can find in any classroom? Next, let's turn the page to the history of paper. Can you believe this essential item has been around for over 2,000 years? It all started in ancient China during the Han Dynasty. A court official named Lun is credited with inventing the first real paper-making process around 105 AD. Before this, people wrote on all sorts of things like bamboo, silk, and even clay tablets. But Lun's invention, using materials like tree bark, rags, and fishing nets, created a lightweight, affordable, and easy-to-use writing surface that completely changed the world. It allowed knowledge to be recorded and spread like never before, laying the foundation for education, literature, and modern civilization as we know it. Now, look down at your keyboard. Ever wondered why the letters aren't in alphabetical order? The QWERTY layout we all use today was actually designed to slow you down. Back in the days of mechanical typewriters, if you typed too fast, the metal arms or type bars would jam into each other. The inventor, Christopher Latham Sholes, strategically placed common letter pairs far apart to force typists to slow down and prevent these frustrating jams. Even though we use digital keyboards today where jamming is impossible, the QWERTY layout stuck. It became the industry standard, and we've all been trained on it ever since. So, that weird layout is actually a clever relic from a bygone era of mechanical engineering. Let's brush up on our next fact: toothbrushes. Before modern nylon bristles, what do you think people used? Believe it or not, the first mass-produced toothbrushes, invented in England in the 1780s, used bristles from the back of a hog's neck. These bristles were attached to a handle made of bone or wood. While people had been cleaning their teeth for centuries with things like twigs, the hog-bristled toothbrush was a major innovation. It wasn't until the 1930s, with the invention of nylon, that we moved away from animal hair. So the next time you're brushing, be thankful for those soft, synthetic bristles and the fact that you're not using something that once belonged to a pig. Have you ever wondered about Velcro? That satisfying rip sound comes from a brilliant invention inspired by nature. In the 1940s, a Swiss engineer named George de Mestral went for a walk in the woods with his dog. When he got home, he noticed tiny burrs stuck all over his pants and his dog's fur. Curious, he looked at them under a microscope and saw hundreds of tiny hooks that latched onto the loops in the fabric. This gave him the idea for a two-sided fastener, one side with stiff hooks and the other with soft loops. He called it Velcro, and it revolutionized everything from kids' shoes to astronaut suits. It's a perfect example of biomimicry, where human innovation takes a cue directly from the natural world. Now for something that pops: bubble wrap. This protective packaging material actually started its life as a failed home decor experiment. In 1957, two engineers were trying to create a textured, three-dimensional plastic wallpaper. They sealed two shower curtains together, trapping air bubbles in between, but the wallpaper idea never really caught on. It wasn't until a few years later that they realized its true potential. When IBM needed a way to safely ship its new 1401 computer, the inventors pitched their bubbly creation as the perfect lightweight protective packaging. It worked like a charm, and bubble wrap found its true calling, saving countless fragile items from breaking during shipping. And of course, giving us endless satisfaction from popping those little air pockets. Let's heat things up with the microwave oven. This kitchen staple was a complete accident. During World War II, an American engineer named Percy Spencer was working on radar technology using a device called a magnetron. One day, while standing in front of an active radar set, he noticed that a chocolate bar in his pocket had melted. He was intrigued. He tried another experiment with popcorn kernels, and they started popping all over the lab. Then he tried an egg, which famously exploded. Spencer realized that the microwaves from the magnetron were heating the food. This accidental discovery led to the development of the microwave oven, a device that has completely transformed how we cook and reheat our meals, all thanks to a melted candy bar. Next, let's stick with this one, Post-it notes. These colorful little squares were born from a failed experiment. A scientist at the 3 Meters company named Spencer Silver was trying to create a super strong adhesive. Instead, he accidentally created the opposite, a very weak, pressure-sensitive adhesive that could be stuck and unstuck without leaving any residue. For years, nobody could figure out a use for it. Then, a colleague named Art Fry got frustrated. He used little slips of paper to mark his place in his church hymnal, but they kept falling out. He remembered Silver's weak glue, applied some to his bookmarks, and voila! The perfect reusable bookmark was born. This simple solution to a small problem turned into the globally recognized Post-it note, an essential tool for offices, schools, and homes everywhere. Time for a surprising status symbol, the umbrella. Today, it's a common accessory for a rainy day, but in 18th century England, carrying one was an act of rebellion, especially for men. At the time, umbrellas were used primarily by women and were seen as a French fashion accessory, which the English disliked. Plus, the coachmen who ran horse-drawn taxis saw umbrellas as a threat to their business. If people could stay dry while walking, they wouldn't need a ride. A man named Jonas Hanway was one of the first English men to bravely carry an umbrella in public. He was mocked and even physically attacked by coachmen, but he persisted for 30 years. Eventually, the practicality of the umbrella won out, and it became an acceptable and essential item for everyone. Finally, let's roll into our last fact, the shopping cart. When the owner of a grocery store chain, Sylvan Goldman, invented the first shopping cart in 1937, he thought it was a genius idea. He designed a folding metal frame with 2 baskets to help customers buy more groceries. But when he introduced them in his stores, people refused to use them. Men felt they were too effeminate, comparing them to baby carriages, and women felt they had pushed enough baby carriages already. Goldman had to get creative. He hired models of all ages and genders to walk around his stores pushing the carts, pretending to be shoppers. Seeing other people use them made customers feel more comfortable, and soon the shopping cart took off, changing the grocery shopping experience forever. Crazy, right? From space pencils to rebellious umbrellas, the ordinary things we use every day have some of the most extraordinary stories. If you love these facts, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and share it with someone who loves a good piece of trivia. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.